Lucas Sims, the charismatic cowboy that Megaton needed, but never deserved. Also known as Calamity Jane if you're feeling a little spicy. Lucas Sims will more than likely be the very first Megaton NPC you talk to during your Fallout 3 playthrough. Mainly because he walks right up to the player as they enter the Megaton gates and will not stop following you like a little puppy who lost his ball. From your very first encounter with Sims, it's pretty clear that he acts as the authoritarian figure around Megaton, stating that he is Sheriff and Mayor too, when the need arises. Any trouble around Megaton is promptly dealt with by Sims, any troublemakers thrown out, and any raiders, well, shot. This lawmaker persona is most evident through Sims' interaction with Mr. Burke, which we'll get to later on, of course. All you gotta know for now is that Sims is a pretty damn badass cowboy.
And I'm gonna fucking end you.
Sims was born and raised in Megaton and quite frankly never gave up his childhood dreams of being a cowboy. So much so that he even appointed himself the sheriff once he was older. One might think that growing up in Megaton would be easier than most places in the wasteland, but that isn't necessarily the case. Megaton wasn't always as built up as it is now, and because it's one of the biggest trading hubs on the main trading route, it's prone to raider attacks. Although we don't see the raider attacks in the gameplay itself, they're pretty evident by a log found in the Springvale School terminal, which reads, Boppo died like a how am I supposed to do a raider accent here? Boppo died like a bitch. He didn't have half a bad idea setting up here. We had a good thing going, picking off caravans and traders on their way to Megaton. He was stupid to try and raid the town. Dumbass deserved a bullet Sims put in his head. Sims didn't hold all of the power, however, as mentioned in my previous behind the character video for Colin Moriarty. Both Sims and Moriarty had somewhat of a rivalry for control over the town of Megaton. Sims handled the day-to-day activities and protecting the town, while Moriarty handled all else. Sims, being the kind and charismatic soul that he is, wanted a better life for the people of Megaton than he had, going so far as to paying the lone wanderer to disarm the nuclear bomb in the center of the town that it was named after. It seems that Sims really fucking hates explosives because he's also known for keeping Moira Brown's explosive tests in check. A log in one of Moira Brown's terminals reads, "Can explosives be used to expand town? Lucas Sims requests all testing cease." I mean, I don't even blame him for that one. Honestly, Moira, some of your experiments are fucking stupid. Let's just put it out there. Sims really is a charismatic, caring cowboy to everybody in Megaton, regardless if they're human or not. As some folk in Megaton find it pretty damn disturbing how both Lucas and Harden Sims refer to Deputy Weld, the Protectron, as a human. Oh, sorry, did you think I was going to mention Gob as the non-human there? No, Sims fucking hates that brain eater.
Asshole.
As quoted by one of the Megaton settlers, "Sometimes that Deputy Steele makes me nervous. Sims and his boy, they treat him like a person. But it's just a machine, and machines can malfunction." Albeit the Megaton settler didn't say with so much passion. In the end, Sims' protection of the town is what gets him killed by Mr. Burke, for most players of the game at least. Other times, if you're like me, he gets blown to smithereens by an active nuclear bomb that for some fucking reason they decided to build a town around. I mean, if that's how you're going to die, Sims, then that's on you, my friend. After talking to either Lucas Sims or Mr. Burke, the lone wanderer is prompted with a choice to either blow up the nuclear Megaton in the center of the town and move to Tenpenny Tower, or defuse the bomb, where Sims will reward the character with a lovely little house slash shack slash metal cage thing. Honestly, the house that Sims gives you is as dirty as Nova's. I mean, coming out of Vault 101, our standards are pretty high, so I guess beggars can't be choosers. If the player decided to defuse the bomb straight away, then the quest ends, and the player is rewarded. If the player decides to detonate the bomb, then every single person in Megaton dies. Nearly every single person. There is actually that one ghoul thing floating about called Moira or something. A third way of completing this quest, however, is by first snitching on Mr. Burke. Once Mr. Burke gives the player the detonator from the bomb, we can go to Lucas Sims and explain everything that happened. Sims will then march up to Moriarty's saloon to confront Mr. Burke. Sims confronts Burke by demanding that he follow him to jail. Burke pretends to accept this arrest, only to shoot Sims in the back of the head. Let's rewind a second though. There is a possibility that the lone wanderer takes out Mr. Burke before he deals the killing blow, prompting a unique reaction from Sims.
I must be getting slow in my old age. Thanks for saving my hide there.
For most players, however, Sims' story will have ended here. But hold on a sec, Sims offered you 500 caps to disarm that stupid bomb, and you need those caps to buy all the medics and Psycho. So, what now? Well, the player can still disarm the Megaton bomb even after Sims is killed and Mr. Burke has left. The reward for disarming the bomb will include the 500 caps if of course you pass that speech check, and the keys to your dirty shack thing. All of this granted by Lucas Sims' son, Harden Sims, who actually is named after John Wesley Harden, an ancient outlaw. Lucas Sims really took this cowboy roleplay seriously, didn't he? Now, Lucas Sims was as hard as the stare in a 40-year-old hooker. But Harden Sims as a character isn't that interesting, mainly considering he's 10 years old when the lone wanderer first encounters him. Harden can be seen running around Megaton playing with another local resident, Maggie. That's all they literally do. I don't even see them with toys, they just run around. Harden does take some traits from his father, however, as he claims to appoint himself the new sheriff by 2297, and after a few beers can even be heard blaming the lone wanderer for Lucas Sims' death, according to Moira Brown's afterword. Heck, if you get Sims drunk, he'll tell you that his dad died because of the Wanderer, even though he saved the town. Although it doesn't seem like Harden particularly likes the Lone Wanderer all those years later, he does seem to praise him during the game if the Lone Wanderer disarms the bomb, saying things such as, "You're my hero, mister. I want to be just like you when I grow up. It's a shame I didn't disarm the bomb, you little fucker." Similar to Moriarty, Harden Sims has unique dialogue if you wear Lucas Sims' duster around. Harden can be heard saying, "You might wear the badge, but you're not my dad."
You're not my dad!
All in all, Sims died the death of a true cowboy in a gunfight, where he didn't even have his gun out. It's not the point. Would have been a lot cooler if there was a showdown between Burke and Sims. That would have been epic. And Harden would have made his father proud by following in his footsteps and picking up the sheriff mantle. It's also worth mentioning that Lucas Sims was a part of the regulators in the Capital Wasteland. Not much is known about them, of course, as they are a very secretive group. Maybe all of this was why the developers placed a strength bobblehead in the Sims' house. Honestly, I'd like to see an entire spin-off Fallout game where Harden Sims is tracking down Mr. Burke for killing his father, finding his way all over the Capital Wasteland or some distant DLC land. I think the devs should definitely implement that. The game's only 15 years old. That makes me feel old. Anyway, if you think I've missed any information on either Lucas or Harden Sims, do let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything new, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't enjoy or didn't learn anything new, then give it a thumbs down. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Behind the Character, where I'll be looking at a character that's a bit less rugged, a bit happier, and a bit more red-headed. Until next time.